Hello and welcome to another That's Not a Tutorial. My name is JK, an artist from Sydney, Australia. If this is your very first time at the channel, thank you, welcome. Look, if this is your first time at the channel, please consider subscribing. If you don't subscribe, I can't feed my children.
Please subscribe, they're hungry.
Yes. Do it for the children. In today's video, we will be discussing dynamic poses. What is a dynamic pose, I hear you ask? This is not a dynamic pose. This is a dynamic pose. This is not a dynamic pose. This is a dynamic pose. So without further ado, let's draw some dynamic poses. Alright then, yeah, cheeky bunch of buggers, let's talk dynamic poses. Now, there's many ways in which to create a dynamic pose, but they all require, in my opinion, something called reference. Now, where you get this reference from is completely up to you. Google image search is generally a good one, or just Google reference images. You can come across things like this. This is a few photos from a pack that you can get online from here, flipnormals.com, 330 plus male action pose reference pictures, $12, very cheap. And some great poses. I'll put a link to this in the description below. I have no monetary affiliation with this whatsoever. It's just a pack that I came across and I thought it was quite good. And if you want to buy it, fantastic. It's by Nastya. Don't know who that is, but good on you, Nastya. Could be this person here. So yeah, that's one way of doing it. For those of you who just saw that, yes, it's very weird. It's me with things up my nose. I had my nose and my ears waxed the other day. It was very painful. I shan't be doing it again. We won't be using that as a reference image. So, yes, this is a way. And now I used said poses, some of these poses, to create things like this here, koala falling. Also, I used to create this one here, the koala jumping. So I use human reference for those. Now, you can use these, of course. Go for your life. They can be very tricky if you are just sort of starting out and... Because I feel like, because obviously when you're looking at a human, there's something called anatomy, which is a very, very in-depth lesson in itself, more than one, and it's quite tricky to get right. It requires a lot of practice, and if you want to just get your cartoon characters into dynamic poses, it can be a little bit daunting trying to do it using human reference. You can do it. One way you can do it is, for instance, if we wanted to do, say, this pose here, I used to, when I was sort of starting out and struggling with dynamic poses and proportions and things like that, is put in a picture like that, do a new layer, and then I would just chuck in, hold on, what's going on? Oh, that's the eraser. Chuck in these little dots for where the joints are, sort of chuck in that for the foot, and go, okay, that goes down like that. So I basically build a skeleton out of lines, so that I could then go away once I had this skeleton in place. Let's just chuck in this skeleton here, where the head placement is, like that, and then the body sort of comes down in this sort of little angle here. And then I would get rid of that, and that would give me a very basic skeleton in which to do a new layer, minimize that down, and then just build on top of that. That's one way I did it. Not saying that's the best way to do it. There's probably lots of artists that would say you should not be doing that. That doesn't help you in any way. Blah blah blah. Whatever. That's how I did it. And then I would, yeah, as I said, would build on top of that and put my character in that way. So that's one way in which you can do it. But as I said, using the human reference can be daunting, and it can be very off-putting, because there's a lot there to take in your brain, sort of looking at it all and trying to compute it all, and your brain's going, what is going on? I can't do this. So what I like to do as well is to Google image search things like this. The art of Carlos E. Mendez. I just literally Google image search dynamic pose reference images and drawings. So then here, you've still got, obviously, Carlos Mendez has got some great anatomical bits and stuff in here. Like, he's got his ribcage in here, and his deltoids, and his shoulders, and all the rest of it, and the pecs. And so he's got all that in there, but I feel it's less daunting because he's got the very basic. He's just doing some real quick sketches here of dynamic poses. So again, there's more here. This one's of a Bambs79, who's done, again, he's got the anatomical stuff in here as well, but again, I feel like it's less daunting, and it just gives you an outline of how things should sort of be placed and look, if you wanted to put your character in any of these sorts of poses. And also, a lot of you would have seen, if you've watched my other videos, especially the how to create a character from scratch, you probably would have seen, this is one of my favorite ones to use. Where are you? There you are. This one here. I love this one. These are just, it's even more simplistic. This is sakura.deviantart.com. Just trying to give a shout out to all these artists, so everyone's getting the credit where they are due. So yeah, I use this one a lot. I love it, just nice and simplistic. So I use that a lot. So I'm going to go with the drawing stuff first. I really like this sort of Spider-Man-esque pose down here, but I'm actually going to take that out of there now. Let's just join these all together. I don't need them anymore. Clear that. We're going to get a reference bit going. If you are using the Procreate, you can go to your spanner here, and we can go to Canvas, and we can go to Reference, and we go Image, Import Image, and we'll go to Art of Carlos Mendez. And we're going to use this sort of Spider-Man pose, and we're just going to recreate that our own way. Let me just turn, I think my microphone's a little bit quiet. Let me just turn that up. All right. So let's recreate this. So I basically got to, again, if you've watched my videos before, it's all about breaking it down into simple shapes, because you could still be looking at this going, oh God, how am I going to recreate that? Just simple shapes. So let's start with the head. Just a circle for the head. Let's get that in place first. Can you see that blue pen? It's probably not dark enough, is it? Let's go a bit darker than that. Okay. So, head. Then we'll go to the chest. So don't worry about drawing all of this and the shoulders and everything. Let's just get the basic chest part in. All right. Now he's obviously leaning forward in this pose, so you don't see much of the chest or the stomach because it's all sort of scrunched. So you can see down here, this is the stomach part. So let's chuck in a bit of stomach here. Now we're not looking to 100% recreate this pose perfectly. Like, as I said, we're not looking to get all these. I'm not looking for all this sort of perfect anatomical reference, because what I'll be doing is I'll probably be creating. I would turn this into, and I draw a lot of animals, so and I like drawing things like pandas or cats as ninjas. So I would use this just to help me to get that sort of starting point for, say, a cat ninja. So now the arms are going backwards, and this foreshortening here, so everything is compressed. So you can see this here is to be the bicep. The forearm is here, and then the hand is just here, and then we're seeing more sort of leaning, turning, so we're seeing more of this side. So there's your bicep, there's your forearm, and there's your hand. So let's start on this side first. Let's chuck in that. Let's just do it piece by piece, build it up bit by bit, like a suit of armor. So let's just chuck in the bicep area, the forearm, which is straighter at the top. It's obviously not as rounded as the bicep area, and then the hand. Let's just chuck in a little shape like that for the hand. Now let's go onto this side. This one, you've got a bit more of the bicep area. All right, let's chuck in a bit of forearm, and then again just the hand there. All right, so got that top half already done. Obviously this is a more human shaped head. I've gone for a more rounded shaped head because, as I said, I like the idea of making like a ninja cat. So my cat heads that sort of shape. So let's just get in the ears. All right, Cool. It's not about that though, JK. It's about getting this bloody pose right. All right, so let's go down to the legs again. So these are, you just got to look at the basic shapes. Let's just get the top half in first. So literally just like that. And then let's get the bottom half of this in. We can get the foot in like that. Keep it basic, flat. We can, you know, this is just the sketching phase. We can go through and fix anything up that doesn't look right. Okay, like that. Now this side, you'll see, because I think this character's sort of turning a bit. So we're seeing more of the knee here. So there's the knee, and then the calf muscle sort of bulging out here. And then we've got your, let's just put that, so this is more, in fact, let's think basic shape still. Let's just go for a round circle at the moment. And then more of a semicircle underneath. And then let's chuck in this foot here. And then let's just put this line in here for some muscle there. There we go. Like so. All right. Like that. So there we have it already. There's a pretty decent start, and it's a bit wonky, but let's rotate that slightly to straighten that up. That's why I love digital art. How good's that? It's a little bit wonky. Let's just basically turn it. So now that we sort of got the basics of this pose in, let's kind of refine it a little bit. So thumbs on this side. I don't know if you've seen my how to draw hands video. I don't like just having these sort of clenched fists. I like to give my hands a little bit more interest. So I just have a couple of fingers sort of popping up. Like that. Oh, he's a cat. He needs a tail. I always forget the bloody tails on the cats. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? Let's chuck his tail up like that. Let's chuck in a couple of eyes here for our ninja cat. And go for the sort of, he's got the full mask on, I reckon. So you'd have maybe just a little indication that there's a nose there. Now, what I do want to see, I want to put in these bits here where the arm sort of, the muscle connects the arm to the chest. I don't know the correct terminology for it. I'm sure you watching probably know more about it than I do. I just muddle me way through, you know, all smokes and mirrors. So anyway, so let's get that connection point in there. Shoulder. I reckon he'd be wearing some sort of glove type thing. So let's get that there. We'll just use, that's the bicep area. So let's have the gloves finishing at the bicep area, coming all the way down, like so. Okay, you got knee in there. That's a knee there. Let's put his feet in, like so. There we go. So there you go. That's using our Carlos Mendez reference. We have created that same pose for our ninja cat. Ninja cat would need some katanas to kill his prey with. So we just chuck him on the top. Katana, for those who don't know, playing at home, is a Japanese sword. I once purchased one for a friend of mine who is a black belt in karate. He had just passed his black belt, and I purchased a katana. It was very sharp. Funny that. I mean, I wasn't expecting in the shop to sell them as sharp as they were selling them. Okay. Okay, so there we have it. Carlos Mendez, thank you very much for helping us create an ninja cat. So let's do another Carlos Mendez. I like a Carlos Mendez. Let's do a new layout. Let's hide kitty cat here for a second. Let's do this one. Okay, so again, let's start basic shapes. Let's go for our head first. All right, then we'll go for our sort of shoulders slash sort of chest area. So we're seeing, obviously, this is a sort of superhero power, sort of almost like, it could be a run, almost like a really fast, powerful run, where it's just taking off. So we're seeing a bit more of the chest area. Again, so let's chuck in that chest area. Let's now put in a bit of the stomach area. Again, making it all separate parts. We're building it up piece by piece. Now we're not seeing any of this leg because it's obviously thrown back. We're just getting a little bit at the top. And then let's chuck in this calf muscle here. And then the arm. Let's go. Put in shoulder. The bicep. Now this arm's sort of in a running type pose, so that's that in there. This one's coming forward, so it's obviously getting bigger as it gets closer to us. So let's chuck in shoulder area, bicep area, just doing it piece by piece. And then we've got the forearm, which is coming towards us, and then the hand here. Let's just make sure we got that right, like so. So now I know a lot of people probably watching this might go, well, this is just copying, you shouldn't be doing that, blah, blah, blah. It's something that I highly disagree with. Obviously, I'm giving kudos to everyone who I'm using and helping as reference. And that's the important thing, in my opinion, is if you're using someone else's art to help create your own art, then reference, you need to always give credit where you're doing that 100% without a shadow of a doubt. But there is nothing wrong with using other people's work to help you do your, it's like okay, so that's a complete and utter, I've almost copied, I almost identically copied Carlos's pose here. Well, I have. But I'm not. But then I'm now going to use that to create my own character. It is purely helping me. Like, I don't know in my head, if someone was to say, "Oh, draw someone running really fast," I'm like, okay, well, I could probably think in my head, okay, I think I sort of know how that looks, but I don't understand why you would put yourself through so much angst and like stress trying to just do it out of the top of your own head. You're never going to come up. Unless you're an absolute incredible sort of, you've got this incredible photographic memory, I just don't see how you're ever going to come up with that. And if you can, great, good, more power to you. But for me, I need reference, and I'm going to use reference images to help me create my artwork. And I think most artists would agree with that. I hope most artists would agree with that. Some people might say, well, this is literally just copying, but I just disagree. I just disagree with you wholeheartedly. So come at me, bro. But as I said, just make sure you credit people if you're using, their artwork to help you. I'm now just doing this ninja cat again. But it's about practice as well. That's how you get better. You learn from people who have come before you. People. When I took an anatomy class, and we learnt from the old school artists from back in the day, the masters they call them, and how they drew anatomy. There you go. So there's another one, another dynamic pose. So we're now just doing Ninja Cat. Hello. And Daddy's just doing a little bit of work, sweetheart. Can I just finish the work and then I'll give you cuddles? Sweetheart, please. Ava, darling, can I please? Daddy just wants to finish this and then I'll come out, okay? Please? Ava, please. Mama. Just give me, Daddy, I just need 30 minutes and I'm done. All right? Okay. Thank you, baby. I love you. All right, Ninja Cat. Where are we at time-wise? Okay, let's get one more in here. Carlos Mendez. I love you, Carlos. You've done us proud, Carlos. What should we do? Which one should we do? Maybe this one. This looks a little bit trickier. Okay, so now let's have a look here. Again, let's go for the head. Now, also, action lines are good to sometimes draw in to help you with your flow, as you can see, because this is the action line from this sort of head, and it's sort of curling around like this. So it's got this big, like, from the head, and it sort of curls around like that. So it's sometimes a good thing to chuck in a bit of an action line just to help you with your placement of stuff. Let's chuck in top part here, stomach area here, the legs coming out this way. This is going to be a harder, I've chosen a harder one here to do, that's for sure. But you know what? I don't always get it right first go. I think I've just been a bit lucky in this video. Let's chuck in this arm here, shoulder first. Bit of an arm there, that's to the elbow is there, and the biceps goes around like that, forearm round like that. Looks like he's going for a full on, I'm gonna belt ya, or gonna give you a right good hiding. This is definitely a trickier one to get right, but let's just keep persevering here. So the face is looking over that way. This arm looks a bit weird, doesn't it? So again, when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed about something, just remember, break it down piece by piece. All right? Don't overwhelm yourself and just go bit by bit, like a little jigsaw puzzle. You know, just one piece at a time. One little piece at a time, you'll get there, don't bloody worry. Arm still doesn't look quite right. I'm not sure what's going on here at the moment. Let's just I want to get my cat head in. I think I've made him too muscly, that's another thing, because I think the rest of my drawings haven't been quite that muscly, but let's just get this. Let's got that in there. Let's get the bottom half of this leg and foot going on here. The chest area, that's sort of facing out that way. Let's get these ears in so I can get a sense of where the face is. Oh, he'd definitely have his sword in his hand here, wouldn't he? He'd be going for a big sort of like, I'm gonna cut your toenails, young man. They are far too long. Come here. Maybe he'd have his other sword in that hand. Yeah, I think I've made it. I just made him too muscly, I think. But I'm kind of liking my ninja cat. I think I'm gonna ink these up. Probably not in this video, because I think that would make things too long, and we're not talking inking in this video. We are just talking dynamic poses. So, you know, it's, again, like anything, it's all about practice, and just doing it again and again and again and again, and just not, I think, not expecting every single drawing that you do to be amazing and incredible. All right, I think you got to take the pressure off yourself to create masterpieces every time you draw, because otherwise you'll just never get anything done, because you'll muck around for too long on the one drawing, and it'll frustrate you and you'll give up. Because it used to happen to me all the time, and that's why it's taken me so long to actually get better at drawing, because I would just give up all the time, because I was just trying to draw masterpieces every single time I drew, and if it didn't work out exactly how I wanted, I just gave up. I was like, oh, this is too hard. I'm not doing this anymore. This is rubbish. I hate it. And it was only when I decided to take that pressure off myself, and just say, you know what, just keep drawing. Just draw, 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 and don't worry, and just, you know, trust the process, as they say. And, you know, honestly, it really is. It's just, and it's a numbers game for me. As I've said in a number of my videos before, for me, it is all about quantity. I just want to keep drawing, and I want to draw lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. And trust me, there's a lot of artwork that I've got that is absolutely atrocious. Of course I don't put that online, because that doesn't make me look good, does it? I want everyone to think I'm an amazing artist and everything I draw comes out quality. But it's just not the truth. So there we go. There's another dynamic pose. So there's 3 dynamic poses, the same character that we've come up with there, our ninja cat. They're all sort of meshed into one there, so you can't see any of them. Spread them out here a bit. But again, it's like anything with this stuff as well. It's just about those basic shapes, taking the stress off yourself. Trust me, what I might do is I got Carlos Mendez, his stuff from Pinterest. So I'll see if I can get the link and put that below, so you can potentially use Carlos's sheet here. Please give him credit, or give him a shout out, or follow him, or find him. I don't know. I think I'll try and see if he's got a Instagram or something, and put that below so we can follow him. But yes, there is 3 dynamic poses. Just get out there, practice them, have fun with it, create characters. Yeah, just enjoy your art, everybody. There you have it, dynamic poses. I hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. If you don't want to do any of those things, that's fine. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
It's done me on the TV.
Right, yes, absolutely. If you want to be a part of these videos, you're going to have to learn to be quiet.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Don't want to have to lock you in the cupboard again, do I? That is a joke. I don't lock my children in cupboards. I lock myself in cupboards and cry.
I'm gonna cry.
All right, shall we try again?
Yeah.
Okay.